We've got Andre Bauer this morning for breakfast after a terrific night at the convention. Lieutenant Governor, what did you think of Governor Palin and her remarks, and how are you liking the convention so far?
I really think she stole the show. I think that she'll be what was remembered from this convention more than anything. May even trump John McCain's message. She delivered a phenomenal, almost meticulous speech. She had a lot of substance in there. She talked about a lot of things that excite me, like being a fiscal conservative. She talked about getting rid of the state jet. She talked about getting rid of the state chef. She showed how she really came into office and was a leader. She did what she could to reduce the size of government, reduce spending. She showed when there was a windfall to her state through revenues, she didn't spend them, she sent them back to the people of her state. As a conservative, that's music to my ears. It's unbelievable. It's what hadn't happened in Washington, so I'm excited about it. I think her speech was absolutely flawless. She delivered it. She had the great facial expressions when she needed them. She hit the meat that people wanted to hear about. She carried herself very, very well. I listened to a few shows this morning, and even liberal media was having a tough time picking apart that speech. She did an outstanding job, and she carried herself like a true leader.
You said as a conservative, what does being a conservative mean to you? How is that play out in your own life and governance?
Well, as a conservative, there's a multitude of different fronts, but first and foremost, it means acting as responsible as possible when it comes to being a guard of the Treasury for the state. So often, when you get elected in government, people want to spend. That's not really the role of government, and of course, we all want government. I don't want to have to ride to work on dirt roads. I want to have police and fire protection. I want national defense. And sometimes, quite frankly, we don't spend enough on certain items. And being a conservative sometimes means spending more on making sure our roads are safe so we don't have people harmed. It means spending more on preserving our natural resources. And then sometimes it means government is not the cure-all. It is not there to solve all your problems. It means that faith-based groups, charities, families, communities take care of a lot of goods and services that, quite frankly, the government's gotten involved in. They had no business getting involved in the first place. Also, being a conservative means being responsible on social fronts. And all that ties back into expenditure. So there's a multitude of different things to me that means a conservative, but it all ties back to personal responsibility, discipline, structure, and a lot of that's missing now in government.
So as a conservative who's been in government and is now being rumored, for those of us who read the state newspaper article yesterday, your name came up as one of the three front runners for the Republican nomination for governor in 2010. Is that something you're looking at right now, or?
You know, as long as I've been in politics, it's sad. I never dreamed I'd be in politics this long, but it's been an unbelievable roller coaster ride. I think we've accomplished so much, especially with raising priorities of seniors in South Carolina. But you know, there's not a day goes by that somebody doesn't talk to you about it, and I'm sure they talk to lots of folks about it, but it makes you think about it. I had a business background, never thought I'd get into politics, didn't go into law, didn't go get a poli-sci degree. I had a business background, and so it's been a different approach that I brought to, I think, the State House. I'm excited about it. I look at it every day. I talk about it to other folks, and of course, a lot of it boils down to who can raise the money. It's sad that politics has gotten to be so much now fundraising, but of course I'm testing the waters, talking to folks, seeing what their response is, if they think that I would do a good job as their governor. A lot of people like the approach that I have, that really I am just an average working guy that's gotten involved in politics to try to make a difference, and I think people are refreshed by the approach. Sure, everybody makes errors in life and does things that they'd like to have a do-over. You don't get those, but you continue to forge forward, and I think if you look at how people have looked at Andre Bauer's career, not once can you remember him talking about what he did wrong as an elected official. He may say he did something in his personal life that maybe wasn't the best decision, but when it goes to conservative values, whether it's that $2 billion plus that I've ruled out of order in tax increases to the people of South Carolina, whether it was same-sex marriage ruling I had, whether it was ruling the Catawba gambling out of order, if you look at it from a conservative standpoint, knocked it out of the park. You know, in the 11 contested elections I've had, nobody's been able to cut that record up. So it's exciting. I love talking about it. I love the elective process. I love government. What I don't love is sometimes the direction the government takes. And so if you want to complain about it, you can do that. I don't want to sit on the sidelines. I want to be involved. I want to be the guy that's trying to make substantive change and bringing a creative approach to some of the things we do in state government.
Lieutenant Governor Bauer, thank you very much for your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the convention.
Thank you very much. You've done a great job this week.